Morning, Marlene.
Morning. How are you?
All right. Started. I'm Allison. This is Mindful Movement. Today we're going to work on some foundations of our postures. Excuse me. And we are going to practice really connecting down, rooting into the earth, and then finding our movements from there. So it will be, it's not going to be a super fast class, but we are going to be doing some different things. If you have a block, that is a really good prop for you to have for today's class as well. If you don't have a block, that's okay too. So if you would like, go ahead and hit play on that June playlist, and then come to a child's pose. Settling down in your child's pose here. Really keep your hips back. Reach your arms super long and then melt your torso down. When you arrive, you might gently rock your forehead side to side, or even take this movement into your torso. Just kind of getting into some of the tenseness or tightness that you might feel in your body. And when you're ready, just allow yourself to come into stillness in this Balasana, child's pose. Feeling your breath, flowing in, flowing out. Not forcing any changes, but just becoming aware. And as the awareness of the breath grows, you might take a full body scan. And as you take your full body scan, you might notice the places that are connected to the earth. Child's pose is a very grounded posture. Lots of places on our body are touching down. As you notice the places that are touching down, maybe you notice some places that start to soften. Take a few more breaths here. Maybe you set an intention for your practice, a word, a phrase. And take a breath in, open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Here, gently begin to rock that forehead side to side once again. Ironing out that third eye center on the floor. Maybe even taking this motion deeper into your torso, your hips. You might even feel it in your shoulders, your upper back. You can always use the music, sway with the beat. And come through center, tense your fingers, lift those forearms off the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale. Just bring your head down towards the mat, arms stay lifted. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, head comes down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, melt it down. Inhale, walk your hands back. Come to sit on your heels. Hands press into the mat, fingers pointing towards you, lean back here. Lift your sternum, shoulder blades hug around spine. Your head might begin to fall back just a little. If it feels okay on your neck, maybe it's a lot. Just breathe here for another moment. And maybe you stay, or maybe you're ready to begin to lift your hips. Really press your shins, your hands into the mat. Feel the lift from there. Take a breath. Exhale, release your hips back down. Walk your hands forward, come into a tabletop position. Setting up, shoulders are over wrists, hips are over knees. And take your knees about hip width distance apart. So there's some space there. Press your hands into the mat. Feel the space between your shoulder blades. Press your shins and the tops of feet onto the mat as well. You might notice your bandhas, that Uddiyana and the Mula Bandha engages. Just continue to press into the earth. Feel the steadiness here. You might gently shift back and forth, starting to work into your wrists, your forearms. Keep a nice flat back. Come back through center. If you were shifting, keep this structure, this foundation here. Turn your right fingers around and back. Really press that hand into the mat. Maybe you notice a difference in the stretch in your hand, your forearm, your wrist. Take a breath. Exhale. Bring those right fingers back towards the top and turn your left hand around and back. Really pressing that hand into the mat, noticing. When we press into the earth, it just allows us to really find that engagement and then begin to open up from there. Take a breath. Exhale. Bring your hands back here. Find that foundation. Really press your hands, your shins into the mat. Feel those bandhas engaged. And then drop your belly down. Lift your head. Finding cow. And exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Flowing back and forth here. Continue to press into the earth. Use your breath. Movement follows breath versus breath following movement. Just find this forward and back movement for a few more rounds. Continue to press into the earth. You feel anything like I'm feeling right now? My forearms are burning. Begin to move side to side or take any organic movement that you might want or need. Exploring all the different ways that your spine can move. Maybe taking head, neck rolls. As you move, continue to be aware of your connection where you're touching down on the earth. Working on finding the balance between effort and ease. Couple more rounds of breath. And take a breath here, come through center, exhale, hips come back, child's pose. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, rise back through that tabletop, tuck your toes, exhale, down dog, thighs press back, hips are lifted. You might take some movement here in this down dog, pedaling feet, shifting hips. Continue to use your breath, awakening the body just a little more. Come through that down dog. Inhale, drop your knees, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. Or I'm sorry, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, now down dog. Just flow with this here. Your inhale bringing you through tabletop. And the exhale, settling your hips back, either in child's pose or down dog. Using your breath here. If you have that Ujjayi Pranayama as part of your practice, using that. And as you shift through these shapes, just become aware of what is touching down and what is lifted. Taking one more round here. Settling into child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. And then exhale, come back to down dog. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. Walk your hands in about a hand length and just press back. Maybe your heels touch down. You might have a bend in your knees. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Press your belly to your thighs here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Take your right hand, reach to your left ankle, look under your left armpit. Adding a twist. Bringing that right hand back onto the mat. Left hand reaches for that right ankle. Adding a twist here. Bringing that hand back forward. Really press it all back here. Breathe into the back of your legs. And then bringing your feet back, hip width distance or so. Walk your hands forward. Find a high plank. You might use your knees for this first one. And then really press your hands into the mat. Feel your shoulder blades spreading wide. Use your bandhas. Feeling that low belly hugging to the spine. That pelvic floor lifting up. Breathe here. Take a breath and then exhale. Hug those elbows by your ribs. Slowly lower all the way down onto your mat. Tops of feet and legs are glued. Press your hip points into the mat. Inhale, reach your heart forward, gentle cobra. Exhale, bow your head down. Inhale, gentle cobra. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, gentle cobra. Hands are relatively light on the mat here. Upper back doing the work for you. Continue to feel your legs nice and heavy. Take a breath. Exhale, bow your head down. Inhale through tabletop and exhale, down dog. Coming back to your down dog, pausing here for just a few breaths. Really bend your knees, press your belly back to your thighs, look behind you, long line. Take a breath. Exhale. Inhale, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Fingers on shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Really press into your feet, slightly bend your knees. Inhale, slinky roll, rise, one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way up. Fingers reach wide and tall. Look forward, but reach your fingers to the sky. Notice your ribs. Are they wanting to flare out? Can you bring them back in? Hug your spine. Continue to press into your feet. Feel your legs activate. Lift through your fingers. Take a breath. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and walk your hands forward. High plank. Maybe use your knees for this first one here. Take a breath. On your exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, press it back up. Down dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Fingers on shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, feel your spine floating up one vertebrae at a time. Fingers reach to the sky. Hug your ribs around your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands forward. Find your high plank. Use your knees if you'd like. If this is a lot on your shoulders, hang out in high plank. Otherwise, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Connect your feet here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, float it up one vertebrae at a time. Press into your feet, fingers reach wide and tall. Exhale, bow it forward. Inhale, walk your hands forward. Find that high plank. Pause it here. Or exhale, halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet. Halfway lift. Hold. Inhale, slinky roll and rise. Fingers reach wide and tall. Exhale, bow forward. We'll take this one more time. Walk your hands back to the top of the mat. High plank. Stay. Or exhale, chaturanga, that low push-up. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Pause it here, 5 breaths. Resetting, if you'd like rest, child's pose is an option. Continue to breathe right here. Maybe taking that big bend in your knees, finding lots of length in your spine. Connecting to the earth, finding the place of effort and the place of ease. Meeting back up and down dog. Look to your hands, walk or step your feet top of the mat. Grab your block here. You're gonna bring it right in between your thighs. If you don't have your block, that's okay too. Feet are gonna be about hip width distance. Fingers come onto the mat, keep bend in your knees. Imagine you are pressing that block behind you. Take a breath, exhale, sink your hips down. Lift your hips up. Sink your hips down. Keep the squeeze on that block as if you were pressing it behind you. Really feel your feet connected to the earth here. Imagine that you are pressing your feet into the earth, and that is what lifts your hips for you. Taking 2, 1. Exhale, sink your hips here. Really connect to your feet. Maybe you lift your toes, spread them out, set them down. Arches are lifted. Press that block behind you. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Now, finding this engagement in your legs, you might really also feel less stress in your low back. Find your Uddiyana Bandha as well. Keep those fingers nice and lifted. Notice you've got that effort in your feet and legs. Can you find some ease? Lift your fingers a little more. Float it up. Staying here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, fold it forward. Set that block to the side. Maybe you pedal your feet. Nice work. Okay, now that you have that engagement fresh in your mind, bring your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Knees and inner thighs come toward one another. Imagine you are pressing that block behind you. Press into your feet as well. You might even feel your glutes activate here. Take a breath, exhale, sink your hips down. Lift them up. Can you find that engagement that you had with the block? Just finding a few movements here. Building a nice, strong posterior chain. Often in yoga, this can be one of our weaker sides because so many of the movements that we do are very forward. We do a lot of pushing, not a lot of pulling. Take 2 more, dropping your hips down. Lift them up. Exhale, drop your hips down. Really connect to your feet. Feel those thighs pressing back. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose. You've got this. Beautiful. Feeling those hips, those glutes, your legs. Maybe you're cursing me. It's okay, I can't hear you. And even if I could, I'd still love you. Breathe here, really connect to your feet. Maybe you feel a little bit more lift in your fingers. Breathe. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Fold it forward. Take your feet as wide as your mat, toes slightly in, heels out. Halfway lift and exhale, fold. Fingers can stay on the mat. Maybe you take a ragdoll connecting to opposite elbows. You might sway your torso side to side, releasing that. Couple more breaths here. All right, fingers come back to the mat. Halfway lift, walk your feet back underneath here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, float it up, slinky roll, rise. Fingers reach wide and tall. Exhale, bow it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to that high plank. Now, option, take your flow or go straight back to downward facing dog. You have options in yoga. It's not a one size fits all. It's a what size fits you in this moment. You get to down dog, take a breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, your right leg rises. Press back through that heel. Drop your left heel just a little closer to the mat. Feel where you're connected to the earth, and inhale, allow that right heel to float just a bit more. Take a breath. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your foot between your hands here. Take a moment, maybe you gently shift side to side, or forward and back rather. And then keep the connection to the earth. Really press your feet, that front foot, that back foot into the earth. Use those bandhas and imagine that your inner thighs were rotating toward one another like you had a block between them. Feel the engagement in your legs. And when you're ready, maybe the inhale floats your torso up and your fingers reach to the sky. Anjaneyasana. Crescent warrior. Connect to your legs here. Mine are wobbling and burning too. Finding that effort, that ease. Take a breath. Exhale, plant your hands, drop that back knee, shift back, Ardha Hanuman, half split. You might point and flex your toes, windshield wiper your leg. A fun little story, Anjaneya is actually Ardha Hanuman's mother. So these lunge postures are all connected, the monkey postures, because they are monkeys. Inhale, halfway lift. Take both hands outside of that right leg, bow it down here. Notice if that right hip wants to pop up, can you drop it back down towards the earth? Breathe. The inhale shifts you back forward. Bend that front knee. Your left hand stays nice and planted here. You can either keep that back knee down or tuck your toes and lift it up. We're going to come into a twist, so it depends on how you feel. Really connect that left hand, that right foot, and that left foot into the earth. Find those bandhas, and then from there, begin to rotate, lifting your heart towards the sky. You can lift your arm, or you can keep it on your knee, or somewhere that's comfortable. If you decide to lift that arm, bring that thumb over your nose. Breathe here. Continue to press into the earth. As you press into the earth, you might notice your hips want to lift. Can you drop your hips back down a little? Take a breath. Exhale, that right hand comes down, straighten that front leg, pyramid pose. Breathing here. Finding that balance between the effort and the ease. Doing postures that are really engaging and balancing it out with a posture that helps to release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back to a high plank. Take a flow or go straight to down dog. All right, connecting hands and that right foot to the earth. Inhale, allow that left foot to float up. Use your hamstring and your glute. Continue pressing into the earth. Inhale, your left leg floats just a bit more. And then exhale, knee to nose, step your foot through. You might shift your weight back and forth here. Noticing how it feels as you move. Your feet are really connected, glued to the earth. And setting up for your high lunge. You can always keep your fingers on the mat, really finding your engagement in your legs here. Otherwise, really press into that left foot, the ball of the right. Imagine you had a block between your legs, the inner thighs rotating. Stay or use the inhale to float your upper body, fingers reach tall. You might notice your hips want to float up. Can you sink them down? Continue to breathe here. Anjaneyasana. Take a breath. Exhale, right hand or hands and right knee come down, shift back. Ardha Hanuman, half splits. Take movement or stillness, helping to release that leg. And then flexing toes back to your face. Walk your hands to the outside of that left leg, bow it down. Is that left hip trying to pop up? Can you press it back down towards the earth? Breath in, breath out. Inhale, come back through center, shift it forward. Your right hand is planted, left foot is planted. Option, keep that right knee down or tuck your toes and lift that back knee. Really press and engage. Everything that is connected to the earth feels strong right here. When you're ready, your inhale begins to rotate your heart towards the sky. Keep the length and keep that hand on your knee. Or if you'd like, maybe you reach your fingers to the sky. Thumb comes over nose. Continue to feel inner thighs rotating toward one another. If it feels like your hips want to float up, drop them back down. Trust where you're touching down to the earth. You are strong and capable. Take a breath. Exhale, left hand comes down, straighten that left leg, pyramid pose. Holding over that leg. Breathing here. And take a breath. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, high plank. Take your flow or go straight back to down dog. We'll find some movement here. Really connect to your feet and your breath, or at least connect to the earth and your breath before you find your movement. When you are ready, really connect down. Inhale, your right foot floats. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Press into your feet, find the engagement in your legs. Inhale, float up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down, drop the knee, hips shift back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come outside that right leg, bow down. Inhale, hands come back through center. Shift it forward, left hand stays planted. Maybe you tuck those back toes. Inhale, twist it open. Take a breath. Exhale, your right hand comes down, shift back, pyramid pose. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, shift it forward, step back, take your flow, or go straight to down dog. Find your connection to the earth. Inhale, your left foot floats. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Press your feet into the earth. Use your legs, drop your hips. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, lift it up. Exhale, hands float down, drop the back knee, shift back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, halfway lift, bring your hands outside the left leg, bow it down. Inhale, halfway lift, hands from center, shift it forward. Right hand is planted, maybe tuck those back toes, lift that back knee. Inhale, twist it open. Pressing into the earth, the inhale reaches your heart to the sky, maybe fingers lift. Take a breath. Exhale, pyramid. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your flow or go straight to down dog. We'll take that one more time on each side. Connect down into the earth. Inhale, your right foot floats. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Connect to your feet, press them into the earth. Use your legs. Inhale, float up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands and knee, come down, shift back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands over to the right, bow it down. Inhale, halfway lift through center, shift it forward. Left hand plants. Left hand plants, maybe lift that back knee. Inhale, twist it open from there. Really connect to your legs. Take a breath. Exhale, hand down, pyramid pose. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, take your flow or shift to down dog. Connect everything down to the earth, and the inhale floats your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose, step it through. Really connect your feet to the earth, engage your legs. Inhale, floats you up, high lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands and knee float down, shift back, Ardha Hanuman. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come outside of that left leg, fold it down. Inhale, hands come back through center, bend into that front knee, right hand plants, maybe lift that back knee, twist it open on your inhale. Take a breath. Exhale, hands come down, pyramid pose. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, take your flow, or go straight to down dog, and then make your way into a child's pose. Maybe you're able to sink your hips just a little deeper towards your heels. Breathe here. Connect with your breath, maybe your intention. Take a breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, float through tabletop. And exhale, down dog. Flick to your hands, step or hop, feet come to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Really feel your feet connecting to the earth. So your big toes are together, heels are slightly apart. Find those chair legs. Use the engagement, sink your hips down, and then inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Breathing right here. Shift your weight into your right foot, come light on your left. This might be enough. Maybe you move deeper into eagle legs and you cross that left foot over the right. Toes can touch down on a block or the floor. Maybe you're able to wrap that left foot all the way around behind your leg. Arms open wide to the sides. Exhale, cross left under right, wrapping once or twice, maybe palms touch. Melt shoulders away from ears, lift elbows, shoulder height. Press hands away from your face. Find your drishti, This might be enough. Maybe you'd like to start to curl in, bringing elbows down towards your knees. Really connect to your foot. Trust yourself. Taking a breath in, exhale. The inhale brings you back up. Open it wide and exhale. Step that left foot behind, arms lift, warrior one. Press through the outer edge of that back foot. Heart reaches towards the top of the mat. Take a breath. On your exhale, that left hand presses into the mat or even comes onto a block. Straighten your right leg. From here, the inhale begins to reach your heart towards the sky. Press your right hip behind you. Twist it open, revolve triangle. Breathing here. Take a breath. Exhale, twist. Slowly come down through center. Set your block to the side. Pivot onto the ball of that back foot. Drop the knee. Your right foot walks to the outer edge of your mat. Your foot can stay planted or roll onto the outer edge. Move into a lizard pose. Breathing here. You can stay just as you are. You can add a twist if you would like, opening that hip just a little more. Come back through center if you twisted. Option to stay right here or bring your forearms down onto a block or the floor. If you'd like to move into half pigeon, walk that right foot across so your ankle is behind your left wrist. Keep that foot flexed. As you begin to shift into this pose, notice what your left hip is doing. Is it wanting to open up to the side? Can you bring that hip point back down towards the earth? From here, sit up nice and tall, lots of length in your front body. Feel your connection to the earth. On your inhale, maybe you lift your sternum just a little more, and then you begin to exhale, coming down, keeping the length. Settling into a half pigeon, or wherever you find yourself in a hip opener. And know that if lizard or half pigeon feels like a lot on your hips or knees, you can take figure 4 on your back. Yoga meets you where you are. Wherever you are, connect into your breath. And as you're here, if you noticed resistance or tension, maybe you feel like you're rolling over onto that right hip, see if you can't drop that left hip point down just a little more. Stay present for just a few more moments. Breathing deeper and slower. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Slowly and gently make your way out of your hip opener and gently press back into a downward facing dog, taking any movement that you need to release. We're all different. Our needs and wants are different. And then come back here into your down dog. Bend your knees. Really press your belly to your thighs. Look behind you. Deep breath in. Sigh it out. Lift your hands. Step or hop your feet top of the mat. Halfway lift and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Once again, setting up with those chair legs. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Knees are together. Imagine you have that block. You're pressing behind you. Sink your hips down, really engage your legs, and then inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Nice work. Breathing here, using those bandhas. Connect to your feet. Feel the effort there. Feel the ease floating through your fingers. Shift your weight into your left foot this time. Come onto the right toes. This might be enough. Maybe you cross that right leg over the left. Toes can touch down. block or floor. You can always wrap that foot behind your leg. Breathe here, open your arms nice and wide. And then exhale, cross right underneath left, wrap once or twice. Palms might come together. Shoulders melt down, elbows lift. Palms press away from the face, find your drishti, focal point. If you'd like to play with that curling in, using your core, elbows come down towards your knees. Just an option, not a command. Take a breath in, breath out. Inhale, begin to lift, open up, and exhale, step that right foot back. Arms lift, warrior one. Press into the outer edge of that back foot. Heart is reaching forward here. Allow your hips to sink down, shoulders melt. Finding the balance between effort and ease. Take a breath. On the exhale, that right hand comes down. You might bring it onto a block. Straighten that left leg. Twist it open, revolve triangle. Breathing here. Finding pose and counter pose. Balance between effort and ease. Take a breath. Exhale, hand comes down, pivot onto the ball of the back foot, drop that knee. Left foot walks to the outer edge of the mat, hands inside, finding your lizard pose. Foot stays planted or rolls onto the outer edge. You can stay right here. Maybe you'd like to add that twist or twist all the way around for crooked monkey. Crooked monkey would be bending that back knee and reaching for that foot. Take a breath, come back through center. And decide, do you take lizard pose deeper, forearms to blocker floor, or do you walk that left foot all the way across, ankle coming behind right wrist? Keep the foot flexed and shift down. Become aware of that right hip. Is it trying to open up to the side? Can you drop it back down towards the mat? Sitting up, finding lots of length here. Breathing, connecting to the earth. Staying here, or maybe beginning to melt down. Moving deeper into your half pigeon. And as you melt and breathe here, just become aware of resistance, tightness, tension. Can you use your breath? The inhale flowing in, creating space. And the exhale allowing you to let go a little more each time. Using this time, practicing. Even though we're holding a pose, it can be an uncomfortable one. And once again, we come back to that practice of finding the balance between the effort and the ease. Stay present for just a few more moments. So you can do this. Take a breath in. Exhale. Slowly and gently make your way back to a downward facing dog. Take any movement that you need. Shift hips, pedal feet, ankle circles, hip circles. Slowly and gently dropping your knees back down onto the mat, bringing them wide, toes come to touch. Sink your hips back onto your heels and come to sit here. Hands press into the earth behind you. If this is a lot on your knees, you can sit on a block as well. Hands press into the earth behind you, fingers pointing towards you. Hug your shoulder blades around your spine. Feel them melt away from your ears. Sternum lifts. Your head might begin to fall back. Breathe into your arms. Maybe you notice some more openness from when we began. If you'd like more, you might begin to really press your shins and your hands into the earth. Feel your hips lift. Breathe into the front of your body. Take a breath in. Exhale, hips release down. Walk your hands forward, child's pose. You might notice melting down just a little more. And take a breath and exhale, really give in, melt to the earth. Pressing your hands back up once again, this time coming to shift. Sit on to one hip or the other. Bring your legs around long in front. Finding your sits bones, maybe removing some flesh here. Press through the inner edges of your feet, almost so your pinky toes are reaching back towards your face. Legs are nice and activated. You might even have a bend in your knees here. Lift up on your pelvic floor. Feel your Uddiyana Bandha, that low belly hugging in. Shoulders lift up, melt down. Keep your legs as they are. Hands come down towards the earth. Dandasana, staff pose. Feeling lots of engagement here. Sitting up nice and tall. Feel that flat back. Keeping your torso and legs just as they are. Shoulders melt down, but inhale, lift your fingers to the sky. Exhale, hinge and fold. Keep that flat back and come down from there. Breathe into the back of your legs. Paschimottanasana, forward fold. Take a breath in. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise it back up. And from here, take that right knee, and you're going to bring your right foot out to the side and bring your right heel by your right hip. If this is a lot on your knee, just put the block right underneath you so you have a little more space here. Sitting down right here, keep that engagement in your left leg. Sit up nice and tall, fingers reach to the sky. Exhale, hinge and fold over that left leg. Pressing that right knee down into the mat. If you feel any sharpness or twinging, just take that right foot and put it inside the left thigh. Taking a breath here. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise it up. Shift onto that left hip, and then bring that right foot, plant it inside of your left thigh. So it's about in line with your right hip. You're gonna bring that right arm inside of that right knee. Sit up nice and tall, take a breath, and then exhale, begin to hinge and fold. Coming down over that left leg, you might notice your right hip lifts up a little, and that's okay. Really hug your right knee into your right shoulder. Breathing here. If you would like to take this deeper into a bind, this might be enough for you, but if you want to take it deeper, your right arm will travel around that right leg, left arm travels behind, and you might make the connection with your fingers. If you make that connection, sit up just a little taller, reaching your heart forward, shoulders melt down. Wherever you are, breath in, breath out. Inhale, slowly rise it up, come back through center. Keeping that right foot inside that left thigh or crossing it over that leg, touching it down outside. If you can keep both hip points securely on the floor, you might tuck that left heel by the right hip. Right fingers come behind, kickstanding you up, nice tall spine. Inhale, reach the left fingers. Exhale, twist to the right, look over your shoulder. Wringing out the spine. Take a breath. Exhale, twist. Unwind, come all the way around, hands plant wider than shoulders, heart reaches towards the earth. Come back up through center. Unwind. You might windshield wiper your legs, just a moment. All right, switching sides. Your right leg extends nice and long. Your knee feels okay. You can take that left knee, bring it by the right, tuck that left heel by your left hip. Use the block if you need it. This is a great place to use one. If you have any sharpness, tenderness in your knee, just take that left foot to the inside of your thigh. Sit up nice and tall right here. Continue to press through the inside of that right foot. Fingers lift, take a breath. Exhale, hinge and fold. Pressing that left leg into the earth. Feeling yourself nice and connected. Breathe here. Breath in and breath out. Inhale, slowly rise it up. Maybe shift onto that right hip. And then bring that left foot, sole planted inside the right thigh. Sitting up nice and tall here. Arm comes inside of that leg. Take a breath. And then exhale, hinge and fold over that leg. Hug your shoulder into your knee and knee into shoulder. Breathing here. If you'd like to play with that bind on this side, your left arm wraps around your left leg, right arm wraps around behind. You might make a connection with your hands. If you do, reach your heart forward. Breathing. Breath in and breath out. The inhale slowly brings you through center, setting up for our twist. Keep that left foot where it is, cross it over the leg. Maybe you tuck that right heel by your left hip. Hip points or sits bones really connected to the earth. Left hand kickstands you. Reach the crown of your head to the sky. Right fingers come tall. Exhale, twist. Look over that left shoulder. Bringing out the spine. And taking a breath in. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come back through center, all the way around. Hands plant wider than shoulders, heart comes to the earth. And then come back, unwinding legs. Take a moment, windshield wiper. And then slowly rolling down one vertebrae at a time, all the way onto your back. Full body stretch, fingers and toes reach nice and long. Setting up for one back bend here before we come down to Shavasana. You have options. If you'd like to take a restorative option, taking your block, placing it underneath your low back. If you would like to take bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana, full wheel, you can always take that. We'll take 8 deep breaths here. And taking your final breath in and the breath out, slowly release down one vertebrae at a time from wherever you are. Feet come wide, knees fall into center, and windshield wiper, release your back. And taking any last movement that you might want or need, and then moving into your final resting pose. And when you arrive, feel your connection to the earth. Your entire back body supported and connected. Front body floating lighter than air. There's nowhere else to be. There's nothing else to do. Take rest. Shavasana. Slowly and gently bring your awareness back to the space. Wiggling fingers and toes, finding wrist circles and ankle circles, nodding your head side to side, and find a full awakening body stretch. Fingers and toes reach long, take up space. And then gently roll onto one side or the other, pausing in the fetal position. Head cradled on bicep. Slowly and gently make your way up to a comfortable seat. Hands coming to Anjali Mudra, heart center. Closing your eyes. Truly my honor to be here with you this morning, and I deeply thank you for your trust in allowing me to guide you through your practice. I'd like to seal in our time together with the sound of one Om. You can join in or just listen. Emptying your exhale and inhaling. Om. Thumbs raised to third eye center. The inner light that is within me sees and deeply honors that same inner light within each of you. Many blessings and much gratitude. Together we bow in peace and honor of ourselves, each other, and this practice. Namaste.